Hello, Unit. Mr. Stevens here, and I'm going to be showing you how to work with a typical example we'll see here in our tax exercise. So what we're being asked to find here in Part A is Liam's net income each month, and what we're given is his annual salary and the amount of monthly tax deduction. So because what we're given is his annual salary, the first step in Part A is to take his annual salary and work out what it is per month. And the way we do that is to divide it by 12, because there are 12 months in 1 year. So we put that into our calculator and we get 4,400, and now this amount is gross monthly pay. Now, to work out net pay, what the question asks, we have to take the gross pay and subtract the deductions from over here. And we put that into our calculator, and we get the answer for Part A. That is net monthly pay. Right, now the next thing we're asked to find is what percentage of Liam's monthly pay is being paid to the government by his employer for taxation. So to work out what percentage of a whole some amount is, what we have to do is we have to take the amount, divide it by the whole amount, and then multiply that by 100. So to work out what percentage of Liam's monthly pay is being paid to the government, we take his net pay, we divide it by the gross pay, and then we multiply that by 100. Just put that straight into your calculator and you'll get 78%. So what that means is 3,432 here is 78% of 4,400. Okay, so now we come to Part C, where instead of just paying a flat rate of $968 a month, Liam's tax is being changed to 19%, but he gets his first $18,200 tax-free. So the first thing we need to do to calculate his new net income is work out how much of his money is actually taxed. So he earns $52,800 in a year, and he gets $18,200 of that tax-free. So our first step is to put this in our calculator. Now the answer here is 34,600. So this is the amount of income that Liam has per year that is actually taxed. Now we need to find 19% of this amount of money that's taxed. So we reviewed this in our last period. The way we find 19% of this amount is we just times it by 19%. Or we can also times it by 0.19. Either of those will give us the correct answer. So we put that in our calculator and we find out that the amount of tax Liam pays is now 6,574. This is Liam's tax. So the thing we're being asked to find in the question is actually Liam's net income. So now what we need to do is we need to take Liam's gross income and subtract the amount of tax he owes just pop that in our calculator, and the result here is now Liam's net income. And there we have it. That's how we answer this question. Right, the last question I want to show you is how we use a tax table. So we're being asked to use this tax table here to find the income tax for an income of $48,000. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to find which of these brackets over here our 48,000 income falls into. So 48,000 is in between 37,000 and 80,000. So we've identified that this is the important line for us. Now what we need to do is we need to come over here, and it says the tax on this income is a flat rate of 3,572 plus 32.5 cents for every dollar over 37,000. So our first step to solve this question is to find out how many dollars over 37,000 we have. So our total amount is 48,000, and we want to find out how much is left over above 37,000. And that comes to 11,000. Now, this $11,000 will be taxed at a rate of 32.5 cents for every dollar. Now, what this actually means, 32.5 cents for every dollar, is that this is taxed at a rate of 32.5%. And we know how to find 32.5% of 11,000. We spent a lot of time doing it in our last maths lesson. We simply times it by 32.5%, or 0.325. And if we put that into our calculator, the result is 3,575. Now, this is not the answer, this is not the total tax paid. To find the total tax paid, we actually need to add in the flat rate tax as well. And if we pop that into our calculator, we end up with $7,147. And that's our answer for the amount of tax paid on an income of $48,000 using a tax table.